I guess I'll start, Rory. So you were down there in Austin, Texas with Tim Kennedy, Donaher. How'd you end up making that connection?
Well, I've trained with John probably goes back 10 years, back when he was in New York at Henzo's. So, but I was meaning to go out to Austin for a couple years now. Um, right before COVID hit, I messaged Tim Kennedy and was asking him about coming down, and he was very welcoming. And just COVID kind of interrupted, and then once that door kind of opened again, I went down to check it out after on my off-season time, and just fell in love with it. It was just a perfect fit for me there, and made a lot of improvements, and feel at my very best. So I'm really happy that worked out.
Was there anything specific that you wanted from that camp down there?
Um, I think, working with John, obviously I felt like my jiu-jitsu would just improve so much, which it has. Um, Unexpectedly, my striking grew a lot more because John's got a fantastic eye and was able to see skills that I was underutilizing that we worked on, and that was fantastic. And then working with Tim, just my physical shape and doing some of the exercise and workout routines that he was doing, and just being in that that group with those kind of men, and I felt like that was just very uplifting, to make me step up and put in that work, rise to the occasion, so to speak, and it made me a lot better, and I feel great.
And now you live in 3 different places: Austin, Florida, Montreal. Any one of them you prefer?
I love Austin. I fell in love with Texas so far.
And I saw that picture of you with the cowboy hat. We're gonna see Cowboy Rory anytime soon. Get a farm, something different like that.
Yeah, I'd love to have some land, some horses or something. My daughter would probably love that.
Hello, Rory. So, there's been a lot of comments in social media saying that after your fight with Robbie, you're not the same guy. A lot of people said that some fights take a lot of years from your body. We've seen you having some wins, having some losses. What do you have to say to all the fans who are saying that type of stuff?
Yeah, I understand that someone could say that. I mean, that was a crazy fight. It was like I felt like I was in a car accident after it. But I'm thankful to God that I am extremely healthy, and mentally, physically, I feel very blessed to have been in this career for so long and feel like a very healthy individual, compared to a lot of like friends who've been in the sport for as long. Um, I couldn't be happier with my physical condition, and I don't feel like that fight took any years off of me. I've been pretty mindful about my health and taking care of myself, and I feel great.
What are your thoughts on this year's season? A lot of people are having like a lot of dream matches, having you on it. What are your thoughts on this year season of PFL?
Yeah, there's some good competition out there. Obviously losing my fight to Ray, I'd like to get that one back. And I feel like this year, with the work that I've put in and the place that I'm at now, I feel like I'll be more than prepared to rise to the occasion and perform at my very best, and take out him and the rest of the competition.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Rory, with the season format of PFL, obviously the biggest difference is the activity level. Quick turnarounds in between fights. Was that an adjustment period for you last season in terms of just getting used to the quick turnarounds in between fights?
Yeah, sure. It was a bit tight, and especially there was some. I didn't understand the schedule, and I got kind of mixed up, and then it was even more rush, COVID on top of it. Everything was it was a lot going on for my first season at PFL, but no excuses. I like the format. It's a grind. I personally believe it's the toughest tournament out there that you can go through. It's grueling, physically, mentally. You got to be focused, hungry, and you got to be able to put in the work and withstand, the fights and the training that you have to go through, the weight cut. So it's a lot, but I feel like that experience last year prepared me to be the winner this year.
What are some of the biggest differences in terms of how the PFL treats its fighters versus Bellator and the UFC?
Well, I feel very happy with PFL. I have my the best contract of my career here at PFL, and I feel like they've taken care of me very well, and I'm very happy.
Thank you.
Rory, what were some of the things that you learned about yourself as a fighter and as a person after last year? Because you started off strong, coming in with the win, and then the back-to-back, decision losses. So was there something in particular that kind of stood out that you learned about yourself last year?
Nothing that I could really pinpoint now.
And, I guess, the second fight of the season last year was against Gleason. A lot of people thought that you won that fight. And he's kind of been in a couple of controversial sort of decisions. A lot of people think that he beat Khabib. A lot of people, think that you beat him, obviously. So what do you think about him? Because there's a chance that you could, run into him again this year.
Well, it's out of his hands is what the judges do. I mean, I don't hold it against him that he got the decision. He's a great fighter with a lot of experience, and I don't mind fighting him again. I feel very confident. I feel even more confident having fought him already and feeling better than I did last year with the training that I've put in. So that's not a problem. He's a great fighter, and I think we would have another great fight.
Hey Rory, you mentioned the place where you are now. Is that mentally? And I guess we all go through it at some point in time. Athletes probably go through it after some of their performances. Did you have to do any type of soul searching after those performances and maybe find a different motivation in your career to keep fighting?
No, I just need to get back on my horse. Not my first time, being down in the pits in this career. It is challenging to, lose that bad, and it sucks. It can be very unmotivating, and you get a lot of outside voices start coming in. It's not nice, but you got to be a strong person to take that and keep going with what you believe in and pursue my dream. And I did all that I could to fix the mistakes by making sure that I prepared to go in there and be at my best this year. And I'm here feeling my very best. I've never felt better, so I'm looking to show that out there on this Friday.
And was there a different support system that you changed, or maybe you want to acknowledge besides just getting back in there and training?
I still have my support system. If I've added a few people on, I guess, moving to Austin, being closer to John Danaher. I've really got to spend a lot of time with Tim Kennedy and some of our friends down there, that training partners that I've really clicked with, and we've formed a bond and a circle of friends that has been good for me. I'm joyful going into prepare for fights. That's a big part of it, but I'm still based out of Montreal with my family there, and my coach Faraz at TriStar. So my support system is still generally the same, with a few people added on, moving to Texas.
And last for me is, Austin is known. They say keep it weird, keep Austin weird. Have you had your weird moment yet down there?
No, not really.
A weird story or anything?
I mean, what I do is weird, so just fighting people every day, fighting friends.
Yeah, Rory, you having John Danaher on the corner?
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? It's just being I'm from Renzo Gracie, New York too, and he's legendary for being on GSP's corner, and how's that gonna go?
Yeah, well, he's been in my corner a few times before, so it's always a pleasure. John's he's extremely skilled at what he does, and he's a real blessing and an asset in my corner to have his opinion and his eyes there to steer me in the right direction. So he's a valuable piece of my team.
Rory, your opponent Brett, he mentioned that he thinks this fight is going to be tactical, maybe a little slow. Do you have a vision of how this fight goes?
Tactical and fast.
So, Rory, to mention Montreal,
a lot of fighters talking about Canada and how difficult it is to train there or something. Do you know what's happening with the MMA scene?
Yeah, so it's just like the rules with COVID, and it differs province to province. It's loosened up a lot now where I am in Quebec, but basically they shut down gyms in Canada, so people weren't allowed to go and train. But professional fighters, they need to prepare for their fights and stuff like that. It just made things a lot more complicated. And people who were out of country coming into training camps weren't able to do that, so it just kind of like slowed everything down.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem.
You said the fight's gonna be fast. Are you doing anything specific in your game plan to search for that quick six?
You know what? I just not rushing anything by any by any means. It's just I feel like I've prepared the way I've prepared in my sparring, in the skills that I've been trying to sharpen. It's not to go out and win a decision. It's go to put people away.
And is that Gleison Tebow decision from last year kind of weighing in that same?
Honestly, that fight it doesn't weigh on me. I've had another fight since then. I'm more upset with my last loss, which was with Ray. Those outside forces I can't control. I feel like I did pretty good in that fight, and I won that fight pretty clearly. I didn't get the judge's opinion on that. But what I'm more affected by personally is how I performed in my last fight. So that's something I'm more focused on, is making that wrong right and going out there and performing like I should. Yeah.
I got one last one for us, if you can come up back there.
Yep.
If that's okay. If you can come up real quick. For us, you've trained Rory since he was super young. Now you see him grown man, has kids now. What's the most proud? How proud of you are?
I couldn't be happier with Rory. He's an incredible fighter. He's even better husband and father. He's what every man should be. And look, he walks the walk. He trains hard. He comes in there, puts it on the line every time. And there's another $1 million tournament. This time, I think he's gonna win this one an impressive way.
And Rory, how much has this man impacted your life in your MMA career, in your life period?
Yeah, for us has been huge for me. He welcomed me into the gym when I was like 18 years old. He was training George for world titles at that point, so I was very blessed to be welcomed in by the top echelon in Canada at that point. And since then, he's sharpened my skills every year since then at TriStar. So we've had a good run together.
That's it.
Can we get a picture of you?
Yeah, sure.